Welcome to the Salesonomics podcast, the hybrid customer journey. This podcast is for brave leaders who want to increase revenue in the company. And we will provide you with knowledge and insights on how to optimize the customer journey by combining digital and in-person interactions to create world-class buying experiences. My name is Mattias Härenstam.
And I'm Florian Bourguignon.
And we optimize your B2B revenue engine. We implement growth strategies through behavior changes, processes, and systems. And as we mentioned in our previous section, the website is your most important sales channel, even in B2B. We saw that 88% start the buying journey at the website, and 50% leave without looking at any page other than the front page. And today we will go deeper into the website and what is important to consider in order to provide the absolutely best user experience. Because one thing that we want is not to just have a fancy website. We want to create another sales channel for our company.
Yeah.
So, Florian, you have recently joined the team at Salesonomics. Can you just tell our listeners, who are you?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm really happy to be here. It's the first time for me. It's the first podcast at Salesonomics. Who am I? I'm 33 years old, started months ago at Salesonomics. I play a really weird sport called disc golf. If you don't know that sport, go for it. It's a really nice sport. And I'm a digital sales expert. The last 7 years, I've coached 2,000 people into 30 different industries across Europe. My expertise, and that's why you recruited me, by the way, I think, are turning around lead generation with LinkedIn, sales process with HubSpot, and branding and thought leadership. And it's what we are going to speak about today, because you make your branding on a platform called a website.
But before we go into the website, what are your thoughts in general about the hybrid customer journey?
My thought is today it's absolutely necessary to be one of these companies that is realizing and applying the fact that 91% of the B2B buyers are on social network, and 75% of their buying journey occurs online without to speak to a salesperson. So if you're not on the way to digitalization, you're in a good place today, I would say.
Great. And welcome to the team.
Thank you.
So let's jump into today's topic, the website, and let's dig a little bit deeper. If we start with the first question, what is building interest?
Building interest is the most important thing when you arrive on the website, because you gave 2 kilowatts when you start the podcast. I'm going to give a third one. You have 1.7 seconds to create interest with a visitor on the website. It's a blink of an eye. So when you arrive on the website, and it's a work we have done when I started at Salesonomics, thank you for that, because you were really open-minded on my feedback. It's what is your difference when you arrive on the website? And that difference is connected to the trust and the expertise you're going to build with the customers. And the way to highlight it, you can go on Salesonomics website right now. You will see that we really thought, how can that person understand what we do in less than 1.7 seconds, and also understand the result we're going to bring? Because at the end of the day, when you work with someone, you're going to speak 99%. That person's going to hear blah, blah, blah. And at the end, okay, the price, okay, what is the result? So I understand that sometimes it's hard to speak about that result, especially when you work in consultancy, for example, where it can be also qualitative result more than quantitative results. But at some point, you have to find that thing that makes you stick out from your market. Because I'm sorry to say that, but most of the websites where I'm going now, they are boring. The company and the people inside the company, they are amazing, but the way they present their website and their market and their offer is not sticking out.
So what would you say is the most common mistake when it comes to really pointing out the difference?
Yeah, the first thing is, and I understand that mistake, and I'm going to do it, and with Salesonomics too in a few months, because I'm going to be in the company, living the culture, living the value, and have that curtains in front of me that make me blind. And the first mistake is to forget the customer needs. Having the customer needs at heart is something that everybody says, oh yeah, we work for customers. Yes, I believe you. But there is a difference between working for the customers and be able to have that step back, come from the subjective world that you're living in your product, in your offer, in your service, to an objective world. That is, okay, I'm my customer right now. I just woke up. I put water in front of my face. Why am I stressed? What is my absolute priority? And it's a hard thing to do when you're doing that from the customer perspective, and in the same way you're selling something to that customer, because you always want to connect that situation to the product you're going to sell at the end. But it's something that you learned me last week. Sometimes you have to be open mind and forget what you sell, and be really interested about that problem that person have. And sometimes it's really far away from your product or service. And I compare that often to the onion layer. You have to break these layers and go to the heart of the problem. And sometimes you will see it's not necessarily connected with what kind of product or service you can offer to that customer.
But what is your pro tip to be able to not get blind in the way that you described?
Yes, it's what I've just done before is first be able to identify your ICP, ideal customer profile, being really, really specific. Let's say you want to work with CEOs like us in companies, I will say over 0.5 milliardaire SEK, and try to live the life of that CEO. Concretely, right now you forget you're not working at Celsonomic anymore. You're that CEO. And you have like 1,000 stuff to do every day, responsibilities, and ask you that simple question. If I'm not achieving that goal, I'm going to get fired or lose my job.
To put yourself in the customer's shoes for real.
Yeah, for real. And just forget you work for the company you're working for. When you have done that, you can identify and have that macro view that you need. Go out from your small subjective point and take that step back. And sometimes it's not a step, it's like several steps about what is that person living every day? What is the top priority? If that person is not achieving that, she's going to lose her job or feeling really unhappy, or sometimes both. And afterward, how you can connect that with your product or offer. And when you're doing that, the common mistake is people stay on the what we do or the how when they are good, without to mention, and this is the most important, the why. Why do you do that? And when you're able to connect the why with that problematic that your customers have, like the most important stuff, and make the connection, and at the end, speak about your offer and the results you bring, you have the headline we have on our website at Celsonomic right now.
But if we look at, because you're into areas when we can actually look at when we assess the website, and one area that you mentioned is both the difference, to really point out the difference, and to put yourself in the customer's shoes, to really think about your ICP. What are other things that you should really look into when you look at the website?
Yeah, the most important is like when you enter in a shop. I work at Lidl, so 1 year, and we're often saying to our customers, and not to our customers only, but to our employees most, the first 10 seconds are the most important. And as we have said, like on the website, you have 1.7. So if the welcome page is crap, the people are not going to click on the rest of the pages. And I think you said 50% are not going further than the home page. It's for a reason. First, the headline is not good. Often we forget the goal of the website and the target and the call to action. It's a hard time when I'm saying to customers, your website has to have one call to action because you have one target. So if you start and you go on your home page and you already have two call to action, you need to make a choice because it means you have two targets and your website needs to speak to one. Which target is bringing 80% of the revenue in the company or most revenue in the company? That's the first part. And when you sparkle interest with that first page, you're going to scroll down. What kind of information you put there? In our website, it's numbers. And we are really proud to say we have 107 customers. Every customer that are working with us, they have 193 profitability in average the first year and 35% turnover in average increased. So you need to find these numbers and be bold, because that's your difference. Because you cost some money, no matter what you sell, product or service, but what do you bring back to the customer? And that's the most important in any sales discussion, because the ante, what am I going to get for my money?
Yeah, and I think when we're into that, I think also one very, very important thing that we often miss within the customer journey process is to have the follow-up with the customer, to actually know the specific results that they have achieved, either by your consulting services or your product. What are the actual results? So I think also it's a good work to have this goal in mind, to be able to show concrete results on the webpage, because then you also secure that you also start doing the follow-ups in a proper way and not following up, are you satisfied or not? You're asking for the real results that you actually have achieved. But how should you think with like a call to action on the website? What is a proper call to action?
Yeah, there is no proper call to action. There is just one call to action that is fitting the goal. If, for example, the goal for us is to have the contact of the person or help that person contact us, the call to action should be straight away on the front page. Sometimes some companies, they're afraid to put that call to action. And it's too early, like, to bring that person to our contact page. Yeah, but do it, because you don't know what that person has done before. And I tell you, I know what they have done. They spend a lot of time on your social network, on your LinkedIn page, on your profile. If you communicate on that and your LinkedIn is not optimized, good luck. On other websites and competitors, because in average they consult 7 websites before to contact you. Listening a pod, for example, downloading a white paper. So maybe you don't know what they have done before. So you want to make that call to action as fast as possible, as simple as possible, less click as possible. So it could be contact us, book a demo, depending what you're selling. Meet an expert if you have that approach where you're selling an expertise or anything else. And you should have it on the front page, and you should have it on every page, even on the about page about your company.
And I think the answer that you give the listeners is one of the most important analysis to actually do in the company. What do we want to achieve in order to be able to have a call to action? What do we actually? What kind of role in the hybrid customer journey do we want our website to play? But what do you see are the most common mistakes when it comes to you see in the user path?
Yeah, actually, we were speaking about that this week for the website at Sonomic. It's you see, we are really transparent because we are not the best. Neither we are working on it, and it's. The world of marketing and branding is evolving all the time. So no one is perfect, just, we are working also on our own perfection.
And transparency is our one keyword that we also want to work with. So you will see a business in work in progress when you enter our website, we can say. Yes, we
work in progress, definitely. I would say one of the common mistake is when you enter, have a hard time to navigate. And if you're among these 50% of people that are going to go further your welcome page because you're good and our welcome page is quite clear, you're going to be okay. It's the way we present our website, explain what we do, numbers, and a part of offer and the benefit of our offers. And there you can have some call to actions that are bringing to your offer the rest of the website. Often the call to action, the name of the offer is not the same name that you have in the menu. So you can go straight away on your website and see if the offer you have on your welcome page has the same name as the offer you name in your menu, because you're going to lose the visitor if it's not the same name.
Yeah.
My advice is also, like, on the welcome page, you should be able to have the most important page clickable with call to action bringing to these pages. So check your menu and your offer and see if in your welcome page you have the possibility for the visitor of the website to go and click on different kind of offers you have. The other thing is less is more. If you're like salesonomic, I don't know how many offers we have. Probably quite a lot. Let's not count them. It's hard to bring the visitor to every offer. So you need to choose what is the offer, which offer is bringing the most money to the company. And it's not only about the money too. It's like responding to the need, to the targets that we identify when we build the website and the goal of our website. I can continue to speak for an hour.
No, but I had an interesting dialogue with the CEO the other week, and he said that, you're talking a lot about the hybrid customer journey, but I want to give you feedback. I don't know what it is. And I said that that's the thing that we want to achieve. That this is something that should spark your interest, that makes you curious about hybrid customer journey. What do you mean by that? So we can take the thought leadership and really educating customers, because we see the trend is out there, things happening, and this is the explanation, and this is the thing that companies actually need to act on to be more future-proof.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like, for me, when people say that, I want to question them and like, what are the last 3 things you bought? Okay, how did you buy them? And often they realize at least that half of them, or at least 2 of them, they bought them online without to speak to anyone. And it could be personal, but it could be also professional. Like, give me 3 services you buy with your company. Can you remember how did you buy them? And it's there they realize like, oh my God, I'm already on the way of that customer journey digitalized.
But then we have talked about how to assess. We have talked about call to action and some common mistakes. But how do you secure that your offer is clear and that you really spark some interest?
The question to 1 million. Once again, transparency. When I started a month ago, you came to me and you say, Florian, can you do an audit of our website? So I give like some feedbacks. And one of my feedback was, I disagree with the offer. I feel like the way you present it is not the way that it's present on the website. I felt like we could say so much more. So to come back to what need to you're having in mind when you're going to build your website, and what kind of answers you have, that's the offer. But even when you describe your offer, you should still have the needs at heart, genuinely being interested to respond to these needs. What I notice in many websites is, if I read the detail of the offer, like, these 3-4 lines before the call to action, you could click to have more. I'm like, honestly, it's an advice, read that on your website and ask you that question. If I delete these lines, will that change anything in the understanding of of my offer before to click on the call to action? Really often the answer is, I can delete it because what I'm speaking about is not concrete. It's not actionable. So what we have done together, and it's really hard, and I'm happy to be new in the company, because if it would be my own company, I would not be able to do that, is when you have a service or product, and I ask you, what is the main benefit of your service or product? The first thing you're going to answer is, at the first level, you're going to tell me what you do. If I dig in, you're going to be how you do it. And the question, and that's my advice to you, always ask and or what for. And what for. And what for. And when you're really tired of it and you have no idea to go further, you're actually at that moment where you have the most important result to highlight on that specific offer. And if you do that for every benefit you have, you can list, per offer 3-4 benefits, and try to dig in. If I help the customer to do that, what is the result? And with that result, what do you have afterward, until you get to something, and you're going to see, I play piano. I often say, you don't need to play piano to know when you're making a mistake when you're playing, because it sounds wrong. At the end of that process, what you're going to say going to sound right, because that's the thing you're actually saying when you're selling to someone live. Because the thing that I've noticed that no one is selling, no one is using the word they are using on their website in life, because it's not true. It's not the truth. It's not the thing that the person wants to hear. It's not really genuinely interested. It's really focused on your company, on your product, and how good you are. But you just forget the person in front of you. And you don't dare to do that when you have a person in front of you.
Yeah. So maybe one idea is also to think or reflect a little bit more about what you actually say in the sales meetings, and what you talk about and the kind of language that you actually use, so it can resonate with the messaging also on the website.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why also I really appreciate that some of our sales meetings are recorded, because I think it's a great source of idea.
Yeah.
Also for the marketing, by the way, if there are marketers that are listening to us, ask to your sellers to record their sales meeting, because there you have your marketing material. Because even ask that to your bestseller. You will see have like some words. You're like, wow, that's perfect. That's what we do. Perfect. Don't need to think about. Don't need to brainstorm 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's where we are.
And it's not a problem anymore because before it was a project for the marketing manager to ask a salesperson, can I join your meeting? And the salesperson became a little bit nervous maybe, and things that didn't happen. But now you can record and you can watch a lot of meetings and get a lot of information. But when we talk about meetings, we're into like the personal interactions that we also speak a lot about, not only the digital channels. How can we make the website more personal?
Reading in my mind, I was thinking that's absolutely the most important. I often say, if you want to stick out, it's not only about understanding the problematic of the person you want to be contacting from. It's also showing who you are, and that's the hard part actually when you are a company, because we tend to make a difference between the company itself and the people. And a really good website for me is like a website where you can see that you have both. You have both branding, an employer branding, but you have also the employee branding there. And that's really important. And the way to do it, and once again, we are working on that on our own website, is to have photos. People. You need to see faces everywhere. Because first, our brain today on the digital and social network era, we are used to see that and we are reacting much more to that. So it means like, that's a classic. So you're not learning me anything on that, like client testimonial. Once again, what kind of testimonial? Because often they are not saying anything. Oh, that was nice, cool. Please highlight the result in that too, because you can use them and even ask your customers if you can rewrite them. The second part is many companies we are working with, they have great values, amazing culture, amazing people. Sometimes they are even like engaged in sustainability. And you're not saying these 4 things on their website. In the About Us, there, I think it's a underrated place, because often the company is going to explain the vision. When they are really good, the why. They forgot often people. And often, and it's really rare, they don't give the micro to their employee. And in an era where today, and I'm one of this person, 33 years old, still young, on the way to be old, but I care about my planet, I care about the why of the company. That's why I came also at Salsonomic. I fell in love with the value of you and also how you are taking care of the human in the company. We need to show that in the website more, because that was for me, it's the main difference on the market.
Yeah. And when we talk about employer branding, you found us also through Google. So
yes,
that's interesting. And then you started to look at the LinkedIn profiles, and you did your investigation. Is this a good company to work for or not? So it's quite interesting when we talk about the buying journey, because we have a buying journey also when it comes to potential employees, their employer journey. But that's another episode that we can talk more about.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm the proof that 75% of the process happens online, because I went on Google, I typed something, I didn't type sales economic, I think I typed sales training Stockholm. I found you. Thanks to Simon, is behind the camera right now. Without him, I will not be here. So SEO is really important. I went on the website, I click. I was like, okay, they're doing that. I'm going to try to understand a bit more. I saw one of your video. I listened to one of your posts, and I was like, wow, that company, they look so professional. So before to contact you, I was already in the state where they are experts. I trust them.
Nice. And two last questions. We talk a lot about transparency on the webpage, and we also talk about to show your pricing. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I listened to one of your podcasts on that, and I think it's really bold, but necessary today to also on the website show your price. Too many companies are afraid or shy, or sometimes, oh no, our competitors can know our prices. But I tell you, if they want to know your price, they can access your price anyway. The transparency is not only about the price. It's also about helping the customer, because he's spending a lot of time alone to make his own research to ensure some of the critical question he can have. And that the Q&A section is really important. Question, answer at some point in the website. We are working on that too on our own website, and I would like us to add it on every service page, because we are having different kind of services, different kind of problematic, sometimes different kind of targets. Outcomes. Yeah. And of course, you can't answer to every question in one service page, and you don't want, because that service page will not be read if it's too long. So you want to have at the end of your service pages the possibility to answer to more open question and add more text. And in that case, you can, on many websites, you have you click on a plus and it unfolds like a big part of the text. Because people are, how do you say in Swedish, nyfiken, curious. And sometimes if they don't have the answer, they're not going to write to you.
And one last but very important question. We talk about user experience and user path. So how many clicks should it be for the visitor on your website to contact you?
1. Easy. If you have one more click and you can try on your own website, often the average it's 3. It's 3 times. It's too much. 1 click. And that should be, that's why I'm speaking about the call to action. Strategically, you can place them on the welcome page under your headline, but also on the right corner. You can also place them in the footer. So often we forget that, but people, they tend to, in our digital area, I'm going there, I'm scrolling down, skipping the most important content and going in the footer. So 1 is the best. Sometimes it's a hard thing, because you can have different kind of people selling different kind of offers. But you need to make stuff simple.
Thank you, Florian, for being a guest in our own podcast today. And we will actually have another episode with you, the next episode, where we will dig deeper. We have talked about thought leadership in general, but one thing that you mentioned now was LinkedIn profiles, and also talk about both profile and a little bit about LinkedIn communications. Yeah. So hopefully you have got some new insights, you that have listened to us today. And if you would like to have an audit of your website, just contact us, and we will definitely help you and secure that you're not only having a fancy website, you're having a website that you actually can use like a sales channel.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. The next episode will be about LinkedIn. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.